The 0-4 Jets are still searching for a win, and now they got the Cowboys coming to town. What could possibly go wrong?
All the non-believers. How did that? All the non-believers. Especially you, Tom Jackson. Way to have our back, Keyshawn. Anybody can be beat.
Welcome back to Jets Fuel. Today I'll be giving you a brief preview of this upcoming matchup as the Dallas Cowboys come and visit us New York Jets this Sunday at 1 o'clock at MetLife Stadium. The Jets coming off of a short week, after our embarrassing Monday night loss to the Miami Dolphins. Dallas Cowboys are coming off a tie, a 40-point tie to the Green Bay Packers. So there's a couple areas that the Jets can exploit the Cowboys and find a way to get their first victory of the season. But, this game is kind of interesting and weird in how I'm going to actually break it down and preview it. Just because, the teams are very similar on the defensive side of the football. Both of them are struggling very much so. But, on the other side of the football, if the Jets can capitalize on their strong points, and if the Dallas Cowboys can capitalize on some of their strong points, this game can go either way. So it's a hard game to preview and break down. But this is just going to be a brief one because, I don't want to bore you guys too much. So starting out, the Jets offense versus the Dallas Cowboy defense. Dallas Cowboy defense is statistically the worst defense in the league right now. They're giving up, they're averaging over 30 points a game to their opponents. So that's a benefit for us. Total yards allowed per game, they're giving up over 400 yards of offense, 420 to be exact. That ranks 32nd in the league. Passing yards, once again, they're ranked 32nd in the league by giving up nearly 300 yards. And they rank number 20th in rushing yards allowed at 123 they give up to the opponent. So all these categories right now, you can find where an area where the Jets can exploit, specifically the rushing attack. Can we figure out a way to establish the run just like we did against the Miami Dolphins early on? But obviously, against the Miami Dolphins, we found a way to shoot ourselves in the head every single time we got the ball rolling. So primary is running the football. I've been saying this week after week after week. We have to establish the run game. It's going to be a little bit difficult now because, actually, I don't know. I'm actually interested to see because obviously Braylon Allen is out for, they're saying, like 4 weeks with his knee injury, his MCL sprain. Unfortunate. But now Breece Hall is going to get some more carries. Can Breece Hall take that step forward and really establish himself again, because last week he had a good showing. Week 1 he had a good showing. Weeks 2 and 3 he struggled mightily. But this is another opportunity for him to show off his talents. And this is the perfect defense to do it against. And then you could sprinkle that. Once we get that established and we run the ball, guys like Garrett Wilson has been having a terrific season for us. He's been one of the few bright spots of our team right now. Coming off play actions, can Justin Fields feed him the ball and get him going even more and add to this great season he's already having. Another guy I want you to watch out for is Mason Taylor. Last week you saw the Inkstrand, our offensive coordinator, really target him more. I think he had like 5 or 6 catches last week. So look to him to have another big game. I'm looking for this rookie to really start growing and developing more and more as the weeks go by. And this type of defense is where our young talent can really expose them, and we can find ourselves putting up massive points. I think in general the whole game there's going to be a lot of points given up. Obviously, if the Jets can keep pace, this is the problem with the Jets. We fall behind so fast, and then we ended up having to abandon the run game. And then you look at, we can't have Justin Fields turn into a passer that's throwing the ball 30 to 40 times a game. It's just not going to. It's going to be a recipe for disaster every single time. So, point number 2 is our defense needs to come through this week. It needs to step up. And that, I say that, I say it every week, but going against the Dallas Cowboys offense, just as bad as their defense is equally as good as their offense has proven to be over the course of these first 4 games. Dallas is coming in 1-2-1. They have averaged, they're putting up a significant amount of points. If we go down through their statistics on offense, they're ranked number 1 in passing yards. Dak Prescott is doing his thing back there, as he usually does during the regular season. He's averaging nearly 281 yards through the air, which ranks number 1 in the league. Rushing, they're ranked number 12 in the league at 123 yards. And points per game, they're up, near 30 points. So, their offense is firing on all cylinders, and that's where we're going to have to really focus on, because if they get going too fast and too early, like every other game the Jets have been in, we've allowed these teams to run away with it in the first half, and then in the second half we're trying to play catch up, and we're just not built for that. So we have to make a conscious effort to make sure that our secondary is ready for this attack, because Dak Prescott, even with CeeDee Lamb, they're arguably their number 1 receiver, even with him out, have been putting up crazy amounts of numbers. Dak is throwing the ball 35 to 40 times a game, easy. So him and Pickens have been gelling very well. Dak Prescott right now has over 1,100 yards passing and 6 passing touchdowns already. George Pickens, 300 yards, receiving yards, and already 4 receiving touchdowns. So our defense needs to really put the clamps down on their passing game, because this is all going to connect in the end. Because if we could stop them from throwing the ball and putting points up like they've been proven to put up throughout these first 4 games of the season, if we could stop them from doing that, we can rely on our running game and keep their offense off the field and control and dictate this game. But that comes with a big star right next to it, because our defense hasn't proven us anything. We can't trust our defense. And, until proven otherwise, looking at all these games moving forward, you really can't have the Jets as the betting favorite, just because of how poor our defense has been. But on the defensive side of the football, I'm looking for Sauce Gardner to have a good game. He's going to be. I'm hoping he's going to be just locked on to George Pickens all game, and this should be a good matchup for him. If you look at Sauce Gardner, he matches up well with these tall, physical, long, lengthy guys that aren't necessarily these speedsters that are in and out of their breaks and their routes real quick. He does better with the bigger, more physical guys that take time to come out of their breaks and stuff like that. So I'm looking for Sauce to take a step forward this week and play very well against George Pickens. Then you got to look to their running back, Williams. Is he going to be able to establish a good rushing attack against our defense? We got a lot of injuries on our defense, and we've been struggling to across the board on defense. So I'm sure that the rushing attack from the Dallas Cowboys is not going to be as significant as their passing attack, but the Jets need to keep all this stuff in check if we're going to have any chance to win this game. My last point I'll make is turnovers. We have to find a way to create some type of turnover on defense. This has been the song and dance of this defense this year. And, even in years past, we failed to create turnovers. So can we find a way to get one of these fumbles to bounce the right way? Can we find a way through one of our defensive backs to actually turn their head and play the football and make a play on the football? I don't know. When you watch our defensive backs, they're just locked on their receivers, just staring at, like, their eyes never go back towards the quarterback and try to locate the football when it's up in the air. So these are the things that I'm looking for the Jets to really capitalize on. One, we have to establish the run that will open up everything for us, and we have to maintain it throughout the entirety of the game, because look how well our play action worked in the second half against the Miami Dolphins. If we can do that, put some fear in the defense, make them not stack the box, it's only going to benefit us on both ends, because they're going to be worrying about Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, and then as well Breece Hall rushing the ball or coming out the backfield. If we can maintain that balanced attack, run first though, it's got to be run first. Our first down, we can't get into situations where we rush the football and then on first down we're not getting any positive yards. We have to get some substantial yards, so we're not forced into passing situations. Obviously, that's not the strong suit of Justin Fields in our offense right now. Defensively, we have to keep these big plays in check. Last week we did a better job at that against the Miami wideouts, even though they threw the ball all over the field. They were spreading it out. Even when Tyreek Hill went down, like, we have to be able to find a way to maintain some sense of integrity and not allow these plays to blow up, which goes to the point of missed tackles. We have to be the worst tackling team in football this year and in the past couple years. I don't understand why this is an issue, and I don't understand why it continues to be an issue. So these guys got to wrap up and tackle these guys. It's as simple as that. We can't allow their offense to get going because we'll just fall into the same situation that we've been in week after week after week, where they run the score up in the first half and now we're trying to play catch up and throw the ball all over the field. And we're just not built that way. Turnovers need to be kept to 0. We need to try to force a turnover finally this week to make something of it. And then the storyline of the Jets is their undisciplined play. Keep these fucking penalties under check. We're coming off a short week, so we obviously, I don't think anything substantial is going to be rectified or fixed within this short week. This should have been fixed a long time ago. Our dumb turnovers, our dumb penalties, these things need to be nipped in the butt. Obviously, there's going to be penalties in the game, but these major, impactful penalties in key moments, those need to be stopped and wiped out completely. So, prediction, I'm trying to be honest with you guys, and I honestly don't think we're going to walk out with a win, just because this is another team that can throw the football around and they're explosive on offense. So I'm looking for the Dallas Cowboys to pull off this victory. I'm going to say 31-17 Cowboys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share your comments. Let me know what you guys feel, how this game could go. And as always, go Jets.